Checo is a legend were the exact lines Max Verstappen uttered after Sergio Perez had backed up Lewis Hamilton to help Verstappen's cause of winning his first ever title last season. Since then, the two have looked like best buds with mutual respect for one another. But, as it is in F1, not everything on the surface is as it seems, as Max Verstappen shocked the world this past weekend in Brazil. So, why did Max disobey team orders? How does he really feel about Checo as a teammate? And what does Checo have to say about what happened? Well, let's talk about it then. But before we do, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on our latest uploads. Now that's out of the way, let's get started. Since Verstappen officially won his second driver's title in Japan, many fans expected Red Bull and Verstappen to focus on helping Checo win P2 in the Drivers' Championship. But, as I said, things aren't as clear-cut in the sport F1, as Max and Checo would have a falling out at the Sao Paulo Grand Prix after Max chose to disobey team orders and not let Checo through in the last lap of the race. This happened after a few laps where Checo had obliged to let Max through to give him a chance to attack Leclerc as Checo's set of mediums were starting to drop off. After doing so, Red Bull had told Checo that Max would hand him back the position if he was unable to hunt down and get past Leclerc. Everyone watching the race would hear Max's engineer, Gianpiero Lambiase, say on the team radio, "Max, let Checo through, please." These would fall on deaf ears, and Lambiase would follow up on the team radio and say, "Max, what happened?" Verstappen would reply with, "I told you already last summer, guys. Don't ask that again to me, okay? Are we clear about that? I gave my reasons, and I stand by it." And as for Checo, the Mexican driver would sound absolutely disappointed and say on the team radio, "Yeah, thank you for that, guys. Thank you. This shows who he really is." Hugh Bird, Perez's race engineer, in response, "I don't know what to say." Obviously, this would be the talk of the paddock after the race, with everyone and their moms wanting to know why Verstappen did what he did and what his actions meant. Sky Sports F1 pundit Martin Brundle would say that Verstappen's decision to disobey just showed the world who's boss in the Red Bull garage. "That's a very powerful radio message from Max Verstappen," said Brundle. "That is, I'm in charge around here. I call the shots." Due to Verstappen's decision to not give his position to Checo, both Leclerc and Checo are now deadlocked in the drivers' standings. And if both were to DNF at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, it would be Charles who would take P2 as he has won 3 races to Checo's 2. After the race, Sky F1 would obviously pounce on the opportunity to get a soundbite from Verstappen and ask why he had chosen to disobey team orders. The two-time world champion would reply with, "That's why I first went to speak to the team before I came here," said the 25-year-old. "I put everything on the table. Why? I gave my reasons. I'm not going to say why, but I think they understood and I explained it to them before, so it was not new to me and not new to them. But I think it's more important as a team now that we finally sat together and really put everything on the table, and importantly, we move forward. We go to Abu Dhabi. Of course, we want to win the race, but also, if I get a chance to help Checo, I will. That's why it was important we had this meeting." On the other hand, Red Bull's team boss Christian Horner would say that the team will make sure that Verstappen plays his part in helping Checo secure P2 at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The drivers have obviously spoken about it as well. They're very, very clear. And for us, Checo is now tied on points with Charles. Ferrari didn't switch their cars round. Now we go into Abu Dhabi as a team to do the very best that we can for Checo to achieve that second place, and Max will fully support that. The drivers have discussed it, they've shaken hands, and we're absolutely focused on that next race. We work as a team, we race as a team, and our objective and priority is to see if we can get Checo to finish runner-up in the championship. It's something we've never achieved as a team before, and Max has given his commitment as well. We'll be doing the best we can in Abu Dhabi to achieve that. So it's a straight fight between Checo and Charles, and if Max can help in any way, he will do. Checo has done a phenomenal job all year, and he deserves that second place. And I think that as a team, we will do our very best to support that, to achieve that in Abu Dhabi. The team's head of driver development, Helmut Marko, would also send a stern warning to Max, as he would say to the team, "Red Bull's goal is to take second place in the championship with Checo, and Max must do everything he can to help him with that. That's all I want to say about it." And as for Checo, the Mexican driver would obviously sound confused and disappointed as he spoke to the media about what had happened. "I was told to let him by and that I was going to get the position back. I don't know what the communications were with him on his side. When he was told that Verstappen had refused to give it back, he simply replied, 'After all I've done for him, I'm disappointed, to be honest. I have no idea why. I'm really surprised.'" In a separate interview, Checo would up the ante and say, "I believe if he has 2 championships, it is down to me." And if that wasn't enough for a head-scratching race day for Max, the 2-time world champion would also have a moment with his last year's rival, Lewis Hamilton, as the two collided on lap 7 of the race that ended in Max receiving a 5-second penalty for causing the situation. We can debate as to who was at fault all day long, but what is quite shocking is Max's mentality going into that corner. "I went around the outside into turn 1. I just felt that as soon as I was going next to him, he had no intention to leave me space," Verstappen told media. "I thought, okay, we don't need space, and we're going to collide. For him, it ruined his chances to win the race. I thought after last year, we maybe forget about it. We can finally race, because first of all, when I went side by side, I thought, okay, let's have a good race. I was surprised when I got the 5-second penalty. I mean, I was not upset, but if you asked me, would I do it again? Absolutely." And as for Lewis, the 7-time world champion would remain stoic about what happened and say, "What can I say? You know how it is with Max. I'm not concerned. Don't have any concerns. I think it's natural when you have success and the numbers on your chest that you become a bit of a target. But it's okay. It's nothing that I've not dealt with before." And there you have it, guys. So what were your thoughts on Max's race weekend in Brazil? Let us know in the comments section below, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't.